Hey everyone, welcome back to I Want to Teach English. I'm Jose Torres, and it's been a minute since I did one of these videos, and we're at the crunch time in school right now. It's the beginning of November, and we're getting ready for the holiday season, and that means evaluations and all kinds of other things that are happening right now, administratively speaking. And so as teachers, we need to be prepared, right? And one of the things that I've always struggled with, and I think a lot of teachers have, is making sure that we have everything in our lesson plans that administration is looking for when they observe us in our classrooms. And where I work in my district, I'm sure it's similar in every other district out there. They have an instructional framework that we're supposed to use as a guideline, and these are the main markers that administration is looking for when they're observing us during our class lessons. And so I wanted to share with you how I import these. These are a lot of information. It's very robust usually, but I want to be thorough. And so I have lesson plans that I developed myself, but then I import those lesson plans into ChatGPT, or you could use whatever AI you want. The other one I use is Grok as well. Whatever AI that you're comfortable with, that and have them look at your instructional framework, comparing that to what you have in your lesson plan so that you can streamline this and make improvements. And I'm going to show you exactly how I do it, and hopefully this will give you some idea on how you can do it to improve your own lesson plans. Let's get started. All right, so let me explain to you more or less what I have uploaded to my ChatGPT here. Basically, I uploaded the week lesson plans, which I did on Common Curriculum. If you're not familiar with Common Curriculum, or use some other online lesson planning platform, whatever it is you do, make sure you have this in PDF format. Or if you want to just go with your individual lesson plan, you can just upload that as a PDF. And also import the instructional framework from your district. And what I did basically when I prompted the ChatGPT is I said, I need to make sure my lesson plan for the week align with the instructional framework. Look these documents over and recommend what I can do to improve to satisfy the teach domains of the instructional framework. Now, granted, the dates, they didn't get the dates correct. ChatGPT kind of does that kind of thing. But basically what it recommended for me to do was to look at my different teachers and tell me what I do well in the lesson plans. Like here it says I clearly posted the learning objectives. But then it also gives you a suggestion. And in my case, it said, explain why. Why is this? It's like we're learning to break words into parts so we can read and write longer words. That was the recommendation here for ChatGPT. So what I could do, before I get to any of that, I'm going to explain to you just what it broke down for me. So it gave me, in my district, we talk about the domains, and they refer to them as teaches, right? So this is Teach 1, which is to facilitate clear standard-based content learning. Here went over Teach 2, which is using strategies to task to engage students in rigorous work. And it gives me its suggestions there. And then it jumps down to Teach 4. So apparently I did everything right with Teach 3. And then it goes to Teach 6. So apparently I did everything with Teach 5. So it'll break down for you the different domains, and it'll make suggestions, and then down to Teach 7, which is the final one. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my comments. So I'm just going to copy this right here. This is the revised objective. Just as a side, I guess, if it's, because all our lesson plans, at least in my district, are reviewed by administration. So there's nothing really there to hide. So this is the actual platform that I use, which is Common Curriculum, I think it is. Yeah, commoncurriculum.com. So here's November 3rd, and I'm working with third graders ELD this year. So I'm going to be going to the objective here, which is what it says here with the original one. And let's see how that, let's go ahead and go back to, what is this? Tell the ChatGPT that the lesson plans are for 5 days. So to rewrite the objectives for each day to satisfy the instructional framework recommendations, right? In my first day, for example, in the first day lessons, we're working on the words predator and prey, right? Because we're doing a whole section on sharks. So here, it took the original language objective and it changed it to students will identify and use text features, for example, table of contents, captions, index, and Shark Attack, which is the book we're reading, to locate facts about sharks and explain how these features help readers learn new information. And the objective is that's the content objective. The language objective is that we use words predator and prey in complete oral and written sentences to explain how the sharks survive in the ocean. A lot of times, we're trying to be more general, and sometimes that generality, although it fits what we're trying to express, oftentimes it's vague, and administrators are looking for something a little bit more specific. So that's why I use ChatGPT to help me isolate what those specifics are, at least the best ones that would go with the lessons that I'm doing. So here I'm going to go ahead and take the language objective, and I'm going to go back to my common curriculum, and I'm going to change it here because it's a much better objective now. I'm going to go ahead and paste that. And the only thing I don't like about ChatGPT is that it tends to bold some of the terms, and I'm not a big fan of that. So I'll just go in there and highlight them and just change it back to regular text. That was teach 1. Now teach 2 was to add differentiated sentence frames, such as I disagree, I think, etc., and include a peer collaboration step. So I'm going to go ahead and just highlight these suggestions, right? And go back to my prompt here. So let's utilize these suggestions with the activities, in lesson, day 1 of lesson, in the first day lesson, in the day 1 lesson, we'll just say in the day 1 lesson. And then I'll go ahead and paste that there and then upload that. So now we're going back to that day 1 lessons on the shark attack. And here it breaks that down. We did, we have a warm up, which is the phonics review. And then we'll have the vocabulary piece. And then we'll have the differentiated lesson. So here I'm going to go ahead and just highlight the differentiated vocabulary. I'm going to copy and paste that into my lesson plan for the vocabulary, which is here. I'm going to leave that there. I'm just going to add it to this. So what I can do, I can't use the table because it looks awkward. I guess I can't import the table itself. So I'm going to delete the table there. And I'm going to go back to my table here. And what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to take a screenshot of that. Right, screenshot this, and then I'm going to import that, and it'll be down here. And so now I have that screenshot uploaded to, that gives me the table, and I could just print that separately. Now I'm going to take the suggestions for teach 4, and you see what I'm doing with this. So you just go through this, walk through this to each of the teaches, or whatever your district calls it. And then you take those suggestions and just go one by one. And then this way, you can have your lessons really, really up to everything that they're asking for, looking for in your lesson when they come and observe you. Now, I mean, you could do this for every individual day, which, you could. I mean, in fact, I recommend that you take a little bit of time to do it because, we always used to take a long time doing lesson plannings, but this, I think, takes a lot of the legwork out of it. And then once you've imported everything and you print everything out, you look at it, you can make all your modifications from there. But I hope this is useful information. It certainly is for me, especially when it comes to observations, because I want to make sure I cover all the bases. And I try to do this on a regular basis, but, when you're a teacher in the trenches, sometimes the plan for every single detail like this, I think we have a general understanding instinctively or just in routine. These are just things that we're aware of. But, administration wants these things down to the T. And I understand that. I respect that. They're just doing their job. So I'm going to do mine. And I hope that you'll use some of this information. Use ChatGPT for what it's good for. It's basically putting these things together. And I wouldn't say do everything like 100% from ChatGPT and just go with that. I would go through it with take the time and just review it and make your changes and make your modifications because ChatGPT is not the teacher. You are, and you're going to know your material much better. Anyway, let me know. Drop me a comment down below. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Consider becoming a member of our little community and be a little bit more active and comment and share this video with others. And hopefully that'll be of use to other teachers out there as well. Until next time, God bless.